that's not the first time I've heard that word this week.
Cross-pollination. That's kind of
Yeah,
funny then.
it's actually a little bit funny because I was playing a tabletop game ran by Josh, aka Infamous, and he went
Mm.
over and did in that game. There's another player who plays a Dampier, obvious necromancer, but we try not to hold that against him. And we both have the same spell of like conjure fireflies that set things on fire. So we were just having fun popping those off and killing all of Josh's minions to the point where he goes over and he just goes over and says at the end of the battle, there's cross pollination going between the druid's fireflies and the necromancer's fireflies, and the necromancer's like, I didn't see anything, and this is just normal. I'm like, yes, this is just nature. We're just gonna move along and ignore this giant problem we might have accidentally started.
That's awesome. I love it. Like, we're moving along. We're moving along. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Yeah, I got you.
If the forest gets infested by undead fireflies, that's not our fault. We didn't have any control over that.
Hey, man, invasive species do what invasive species want to do. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, it's just, that shit just fucking happens, okay? It's not our fault that the fucking, whatchamacallit, evil fucking, I don't know, snapping trout from Japan ended up in Lake Michigan. Like, shit just fucking happens, okay? Bilge happens.
The killer African bees that are the death bees or whatever the F they are. Yeah. The freaking anacondas that are now plaguing Florida.
Oh, yeah, poor fucking Florida. Yeah, those poor bastards. You release a few of them out there in the wild, and now look what you actually get paid to hunt, though. Yeah, you get paid to hunt those things, though. Like, you bring in, like, their heads and shit, and, like, the state of Florida pays you for that shit.
Like, dude, like, here's also a thing to, like, kind of just emasculate Australia just a little bit. Invasive species. We can't handle these giant anacondas. We're trying to fight off these killer bees. We got fucked up by rabbits.
What? Did Australia get fucked up by rabbits?
I believe they did get effed up by rabbits. I believe there isn't a natural predator for them.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Well, then breed like rabbits for a reason.
So a dude went over and brought some over for like hunting season, and then that just kind of infected up Australia. But that's the problem with Australia. They didn't have a lot of the evolutionary thing didn't have a lot of competition. So that's why you have so many like pouch like animals versus a lot of natural birth animals. Or not natural birth, but they keep them in the womb longer, and thus they're more steady to go around and run around once they come out.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, yeah, and that's good. That's just, I mean, like you said, it's one of those places where you're not going to have, it's all so desolate. You're not going to have a lot of places where you're going to, because there's just not going to be enough of them to support an apex predator, like a wolf or something like that.
They got dingoes.
Dingoes, yeah, the dingo. Like, obviously, dingoes weren't enough to take out fucking rabbits, but because we got hawks, we got eagles, we got fucking wolves, we got coyotes. Like every one of those, an owl will take out a fucking rabbit. So
it's a primary predator for them. But Australia's life cycle is very interesting. Where apparently all that happens is they just go underground, and then the rainy seasons happen, and then they just breed. And then go back underground again. That's what happens. That's the entire cycle of Australia.
That's fucking great. That is funny as shit. Well, that's why they sent all the prisoners there. Fuck that death camp. So yeah. Grant's allegedly going to be here soon. I don't know. That's what he says in the chat. We'll see what happens with that. He said ASAP, so that's not necessarily soon. So
he spoke some evil, of which you prompted me to. I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah, well, we're going to find out what happens.
I'm so sure I'm turning Irish. I don't know if I really want to deal with what you guys are going to be shiveling.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, my con mug is filled to the brim with mead. So we'll get through it together. Don't worry, we'll get through it together.
I got two of them. I think we can make it.
Go. There we go. Well, we won't be able to do it without Grant. So at least that'll be our saving grace for that. If Grant never shows up, we don't have to watch it. So it'll all be okay.
That's plus.
It'll all be okay. Oh, and I've got your clip if we get any memberships tonight too. I've got your clip all ready to go.
Oh no, what's the clip?
It's your picture with some fun little background music behind it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if we get any gifted memberships tonight, we'll show that off. So, but
I accidentally posted your Studio Rumble in another chat again.
Oh my god!
I deleted it.
Really? Oh my god, woman, you're ridiculous. You're ridiculous.
It said
all right. Right, you did. It does say Rumble, but not the right Rumble. It says studio.rumble, not rumble.com. Come on now. Sorry. All right. Speaking of things that rumble, let's check out this fucking intro.
In the heart of the cosmos, where time and space collide, the Doctor and his TARDIS forever to glide. From the streets of London to the far edges of space, with Rose, Martha and Donna, through time they chase. Daleks and their fury, Cybermen, steel and cold, the mysteries of Bad Wolf, stories untold. To the planet of New Earth and the fires of Pompeii, through the shadows of the vast, and they're right as they find their way. Back when who was good, those were the days. Adventures through time, a wondrous haze. The Doctor and his companions, a tale so grand. In the show where the universe was at their command, Jesse, the common nerd with a vision so bright, guiding through the episodes into the night. The maiden sunk her with insights to unveil, and Mr. Grant Gregory with lore to regain. Back when who was good, those were the days. Adventures through time, a wondrous haze. The Doctor and his companions, a tale so grand. In the show, a day universe was at their command. From the Battle of Canary Wharf to the end of time, where heroes and legends in their prime. A Sakurax invasion and the last Dalek stand, with the Doctor at Guardians undone. Back when who was good, those were the days. Adventures through time, a wondrous haze. The Doctor and his companions, a tale so grand. In the show, a day universe was at their command. From the Battle of Canary Wharf to the end of time, where heroes and legends in their prime.
So, all of time and space, everything that ever happened or ever will, where do you want to start?
How's everybody doing tonight, boys and girls? It's Jesse with the Common Nerd, and of course, welcome to another wonderful edition of When Who Was Good, boys and girls, our watch along and review while Sunker adjusts her camera. There we go. Watch along and review, ladies and gentlemen, where we go over and have a wonderful time ranting and raving and pausing and rewinding and going back over another episode of Doctor Who back in the era before the dark times, before Chibnall, before Disney. But that being said, that's the normal programming for Sunday evenings, boys and girls. But if the evil, vile Mr. Grant Gregory, infamous Mr. Grant Gregory, can make it to the stream, there is a good possibility that we will be conned into reviewing the latest. Well, if nothing else, you can say the episode was historic, ladies and gentlemen, because it was the least watched Doctor Who Christmas special of all time and also got roasted on social media for referring to real life, real world political scandals in the United Kingdom. So that plus a bunch of woke bullshit as well. So needless to say, if you got to catch my video last week, because it is, Sunday, first day of the week, last week, over that, on all the historic lows of that, well, if Mr. Grant Gregory can push the emus back far enough, he will make an appearance, and we may indeed end up watching and reviewing that show. Fortunately enough, praise be to the Lord, my mead got finished yesterday. And I have about another quarter of a gallon of this sitting inside of that fridge over there. And there's 2 more gallons on the counter in the kitchen if I have to. So if it gets bad, because boys and girls, if you watched me review the 60th anniversary specials with old Redbeard, I needed copious amounts of alcohol for that. And that was, I can't imagine this is going to end up being any better. So be forewarned, if Mr. Grant Gregory does make an appearance, that will be involved. Also, just because, you know what, it's holiday time, boys and girls, I do have a little bit of whiskey left in the freezer too. So if we want to do any shots, I know not Matt, not James. If James sends money, it doesn't go to these things, because James is the exception to the rule, because James always donates. Well, not always, but whenever he can, you know what I mean? We always appreciate whatever it is. But anyway, James doesn't like watching us take shots and stuff for his money. So if James donates tonight, that won't count. But any of the rest of you sick fuckers out there, because I know some of the rest of you bastards are sick and twisted, because that's why we love each other. Any of the rest of you guys do $50 shots, any donation, I'll take a drink of the beer, or the mead over here. And either way, we might need it a lot in case Mr. Grant Gregory shows up. But either way, we do also have the bells of St. John. We had, of course, last week's episode of the Angels Take Manhattan, and then the Christmas special introducing Clara. Obviously, the Angels Take Manhattan. Big crybaby episode. There was some asshole onions in my garage for some reason. Total fucking dickhead. All of that kind of stuff. But we'll talk about that here in just a second. But let me introduce my fabulous co-host. He's not here right now, but we've got Sunker, and she's lovely. And we made a bunch of gifted subs on our Thursday Creature Commando show. We made a sub goal for gifted subs over on Rumble. So if anybody gives a membership tonight, gives a subscription on Rumble tonight, I now have got the picture that you guys all unlocked, which is now an emoji in the chat as well, of Sunker. And I've got a 10-second clip of Sunker with some fancy little music behind her. And if you guys gift a membership tonight, I will play that clip. I have it uploaded and ready to go. So if there's gifted memberships tonight, the more of that you'll get to see. So that's just another alternative to things as well. So speaking of alternative to things, Sunker, what's up? How you doing? How's your day been? How was your game?
It's Sunker boob.
Yeah, it is. Couldn't get away with that on YouTube, could I?
Well, I'm doing pretty okay. Have been having a lot of fun with the tabletop stuff and everything, and I was enjoying my 2 days off I would have got along with my vacation. I don't want to go back to work tomorrow, and I don't want to deal with whatever Gregory has cooking, because apparently it's like black gay doctor palling up with a big fat chick, and I really don't want to deal with that and watch that. That sounds even worse.
Yeah. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Yeah, I read the description of all the highlights from good old John Trent over at Fandom Pulse, because he's going to highlight all the woke bullshit in there. And so, because that poor bastard had to have watched it, or somebody over there had to have watched it to point all that shit out. But they pointed out all the woke highlights from that episode. I was like, oh dear God in heaven, no. And then I had another news article that was from like Great Britain news, like GBN or some shit like that. And they were like all pissed off on social media about how they literally quoted Partygate over there in the United Kingdom. Remember when they had all the lockdowns, right? And Boris Yeltsin and a bunch of the other people were caught at a party, right? Same kind of shit that happened with, your governor and the dining.
Oh yeah, when he went over, he went over and made sure everything was closed.
Yeah, the French Laundry.
Except for all the the wineries and shit, where he was taking all of his family and extended family out to go have very public dinners. So those huge cunt move.
Right. So literally, so imagine them referencing that in an American show. You know what I mean?
That
Except
would be
it's about
celebrated.
except it's about a Republican. Because you got to think about it. Boris was part of the conservative party. You know, for whatever
Well, no,
that
no, no.
relative fucking
It's
means.
it's a flip side. So conservative actually means liberal in our
Well, but
terms.
no, their Labor Party is their liberal party. Because they've got Labor and then they've got the conservative ones. And so he was part of the non-Labor party. And so
get
yeah,
Az or some other limey.
I know. There might be one in the chat. I don't know. They'll correct me if I'm getting anything wrong. But like, so basically it was like them taking a shot at Trump is basically what it was in Doctor Who kind of situation. And so there was a bunch of people that were all pissed off about that.
Didn't they already do that already with the spider episode where everyone was bringing up like, wait a minute, actually the Trump guy has a pretty good idea given he's like, let's kill these fucking spiders. They're eating people.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch that episode. I did hear about some things like that, but yeah, I did hear about they were making a Trump reference in it. But yeah, that was pretty fucking funny. So yeah, So if the infamous Mr. Grant Gregory shows up, that might end up happening. But no, like last week's episodes, like I know, like that Doctors Take Manhattan, the Angels Take Manhattan, man. That's just like I said, a lot of cut onions. Really well done ending. Even though, like we talked about it before the episode even started, it was like, hey, look, they're going to fuck with angel lore here a lot. And there was a little bit of it that was like, okay, she just doesn't have enough power. That's why she can't do things. And then, of course, it's like, oh, well, this one angel just happened to survive, even though all the rest of them got sent to the time vortex. Yeah. And so it was kind of like, okay. But it was just that ending it was just so much in your feels. And then with the little bonus thing that we had, too, of what happened to Weasley dad. So that ended up, Daddy Weasley. That ended up wrapping things up really into a nice little bow for an otherwise kind of janky episode.
It was a janky episode. It's more than that. It's just that the whole reason why they're called the Weeping Angels is fuck you, camera. Right. Is because they do this, because they can't accidentally lock themselves, because they can actually do that. That's a thing that angels can do. So having two go down a hallway is actually the smartest thing you could ever do. If you can get two opposite of each other in a hallway and then just duck down very quickly, you can actually potentially soft lock them.
Which is what they did in the very first episode with the TARDIS disappearing, the first time the angels were ever introduced. So yeah. Yeah, they got kind of fast and loose with the angel lore in that one. And there's you could, if you really wanted to make a fan argument, be like, well, they were overpowered because they were in their, their hotel of endless time loop and shit, like, but like
the angels are making sure to look slightly to the right.
Yeah, so and like the whole fact that the Statue of Liberty was an angel, it's like, really? Nobody saw the Statue of Liberty walking through Manhattan? Like, really?
And everything's lit as fuck. So it's just like everything, it's just like, it doesn't quite make sense, but they wanted the whole purpose of the video, or the whole purpose of that episode, was to go over and make it so the Doctor couldn't get back to them. That was the whole purpose of that video. Dang it! Episode.
Yeah,
sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah. But yeah, so it's one of the, and that's, I think, and that's the problem with it. It's just, there's a lot of wibbly wobbly, timey wimey kind of bullshit in that one. But still, it's good. It hit you in all the feels. It's, it was the best send off that Moffat could have given us all written all by himself.
It was a really good send-off for Amy and Rory, because it really did highlight the whole purpose of their characters was that they loved each other, they were in a marriage, they were together, they were a couple. That is actually why you got so sad when everything got cut off, because if they were just some random Joe Schmoes, you wouldn't give a fuck. But and it was the nicest send-off, because otherwise they would have just gotten like fucking killed or something else would have happened. So this was the nicest way he could have taken them out and given Daddy Weasley, like, and again, I give credit where it's due. Like, I hate to go over and give Chip Knoll any mulligan, any like praise whatsoever, because fuck him. But he did come up with the best way to kind of end the Amy and Rory story, which was having Papa Weasley go over and meet his future grandson, which was an adopted kid that they went over and adopted and raised in New York.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was one of the things, like even Grant said that too. Grant said that last week when we were watching. He was like, if there's Chibnall can write emotional scenes, like he can do that. It's just, that's all he can fucking write, And so it's like, you can't have him in charge of an entire fucking series. He's good in a writer's room with other writers. You know what I mean? That's what he's good at. And he's not good when you let him off his leash and he goes fucking retarded. That just doesn't work. That's why that shit with Jodie made no fucking sense. Because you could have, I legitimately do think you could have made a female doctor work written properly, but it's still, I still don't think it works with the dynamic of the show very well. I still think it would have been considered a low point, even if it was really well written. I still think it would have been considered a low point, and they would have still went right back to a man. But it's like one of those things. It's like, but instead of even trying to do well, you just wrote like the most boring fucking slop like imaginable, that there was no stakes. Nobody gave two shits. It was just fucking boring ass dribble, and
people would go over, and you, in response to everyone not liking it, you just got mad at them versus being introspective and saying like, okay, what are we doing incorrectly that's causing so many people, our fans, our core base, to be utterly appalled?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, and it was one of those, it's just like, well, this is what you get. This is why now, like I said, I literally got to make a video on Thursday of the lowest ratings of any Doctor Who Christmas special of all time. This is where they found themselves at now. It's just like everybody else. And how many times do we have to teach you this lesson? Like, it's like, and I get it. It's like this series was made essentially 2 years ago, right? Like the last of it just finished up filming this last summer for season 2, right? Because, oh yeah, there's going to be a fucking season 2 because that was the deal Disney made with BBC and Bad Wolf Studios and all that other shit. So it's like, but there is not going to be a fucking season 3. Okay. I'm just telling you that
How much more money do you think they can burn?
Disney's out of money to burn. Like they're actually having to go get coal out of their stockings from Santa Claus to throw that into the furnace to keep things going right now. Ooh. So that's why that's like all the trash we're getting for like the next year is all shit that should have came out like the last 2 years, like over the course of the last 2 years. But because of the strikes and everything else, they've had all this shit bottlenecked for so long. So now it's going to be like, okay, here's 1 or 2 good things all year long, but here's also all of our leftover woke crap. And it's literally just going to like vomit all over 2025, dude. It's going to be fucking bad. And that's why I thought it was so funny. We were looking at an article last week on the stream. It wasn't something that turned into a video, but it was like the box office kind of predictions. They're talking about like a $9 billion year shit or whatever fucking next year. And they were going through, and unfortunately they didn't highlight too many things that I thought were going to be absolute bombs, but there was a couple of things that I'm like, you motherfuckers are betting on that shit to do something. And that is not going to fucking happen. Okay. You have a lot of bombs that are coming out next year. Like you all better pray to God Superman's good and it makes $1 billion, because trust me, there ain't shit out of Marvel that's going to do that.
Like like honestly, just to go over it, just because expectations are so low, all Superman needs to do is be inoffensive and be hopeful. However, if he goes over and he puts in the heart attack in Superman movie 1, there's too much. He has too much. He's trying to put in Justice League, like corporate Justice League in there. Right. He's trying to do all these other things. Like having a heart attack is not a good time to go over and introduce that power dynamic that is the sadness of Superman. Is like he can't be everywhere.
Yeah, you should keep him hopeful all the way to the end and maybe save the heart attack for the next movie. But at the exact same time, like Gary pointed out, like you couldn't have picked if you're going to give him a heart attack, you couldn't have picked a better actor to play, because that guy always looks like he's on the brink of a heart attack. It's true. I love that guy. He was so good in Constantine as the fucking priest that could see visions and shit. But like it was... Yeah, but it was still like, dude, that guy, he's always looked like that. He's got that like droopy eye, so he always looks like a little retarded or a little crazy,
Or
he's the guy who wouldn't let
stroke.
Yeah, or he's the guy you wouldn't let too close to your kids. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. But he's a fucking, hey, dude, he owns that fucking weird ass role and runs with it everywhere. Like he was great. There was another one. I can't ever remember the name of it, but there was one where they were eliminating all of his multiple personalities in his head. And it ended up, he was the actual guy. He was the last one. He was the actual person among all the personalities. It was like, whoa, yeah, that makes sense. You look at him and like, yeah, I could totally see that you're schizophrenic with multiple personality disorder. Yeah, I could totally see that.
With a face like that, yes. No,
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
like just as a quick shout out. Even though people didn't like the Keanu Reeves Constantine, some of the effects they went over and pulled off in that
Oh,
episode in that movie was freaking phenomenal. Especially
yeah.
on a look back, especially when he's trying to drink all the wine or
Oh, yeah,
drink
trying
the
to drink all the
booze.
booze. Yeah. Yeah. And he doesn't think he's getting anything out of it when he's actually drowning himself in it. Yeah, dude, oh man, that movie's so good. Besides the fact that it's he does
It's not
everything.
Constantine, but it is a very good paranormal movie.
Yeah, well, not only that though, he does a good Constantine. He just doesn't have a British accent, and it's in Los Angeles instead of fucking London. Like if you gave him a British accent and put it in fucking London, it would be because he's got everything else down: the fucking drinking, the smoking, the pissed off, bad fucking attitude, but still will come in and save the girl because he can't fucking help himself.
Tell me it's not about the girl. It's mostly not about the girl.
Exactly, right? So it's like that's like you read the comics, you watch the cartoons, that's still John through and through. It's like it's an alternate reality John where he was born in Los Angeles, because Keanu Reeves was a rock star too. Like he's been in a rock band, he's been in rock bands before. So
they actually cut out a couple things because also that he's a little bit of a man whore.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they left that part out.
That was the scene that got cut out. Because he does in the
demon.
Content.
He's fucking the demon in the deleted scene.
Mm-hmm. They actually wanted to keep trying to enter her into stuff, but it just didn't feel right because it wasn't. It shifted focus away, and it felt it was probably better for the movie overall for him to go over and not have that demon hookup while he's like fucking dying.
Right, which was probably and honestly, I agree with that too. I'm glad it was a deleted scene on the DVD, though. I'm glad they had it in there as one of the extra scenes. That was fucking good because honestly, she was like, I would have banged the demon. But it also gives you a better context too. Like if you would have especially if you watched the deleted scene and then when you watch that scene where because that's her one line in the movie, holy water. Yeah, it makes so much more sense too because like that would also be one of those kind of like heart wrenching moments for John too because John's got to fucking do it. And he's like just like fuck it, whatever. She's here, not my fucking problem. You know what I mean? So anyway, but so we got Bells of St. John tonight. If Mr. Grant Gregory shows up, we'll watch that Christmas special. We obviously had a Christmas special last week that Sunker absolutely fucking hated.
I didn't hate it. I felt like it really wasn't a Christmas special as much as a Christmas episode that was more focused on the overall TV series versus giving us a Christmas special.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. See, there you go. So that's a fair assessment. That's a fair assessment then.
Because overall, sorry to defend my honor, and I'm sorry I'm talking too much.
You're good. You're fine.
It was a good one. Like I can see why everyone, whenever people talk about Clara, given the ups and the downs, everyone loved Victoria and Clara, and I can see why because she's so snappy and she's very quick-witted, and she can be like prim and proper and a little bit low down. She shows a lot of different ranges and it all is very cohesive with a very well-rounded character. I can see why people were very excited to go over and see Clara more.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we've got that tonight. We've got the Bells of St. John. So I guess we'll just start with that. And if Grant shows up, whenever Grant gets a chance to push back those emus, we can jump into that. But yeah, we can do the Bells of St. John. So that way Sunker, she likes the bad episodes towards the end of the night because they're a little easier to deal with at that point. So it might not be a bad idea for all of us. But before we do that, let's say hi to all of you fabulous folks out there in the chat. We had a couple come in on Rumble before we got it in. This eccentric with his bees in the chat. And Your Average Patriot Nerd says, hail, chat, the common nerds and Sunker Maidens. Hail at Your Average Patriot Nerd. Glad you made it in there, buddy. All right, we got Kaio Saber and this eccentric, the Rumble bot, and Kaio Saber all looking good in red. Hail, chat. Hope you're all doing well tonight, says Kaio Saber. Good to see you, buddy. Glad you made it in. And I did see Vagabondo over on Kick, but I saw he jumped over on Rumble as well. So good to see you, buddy, over on Kick. Glad you got the notification over there at least. That's another reason why we go live everywhere, because at least you'll get a notification from fucking somewhere, okay? Like, might not be YouTube, might not be Rumble, but you'll get a notification from Kick or Locals or something. Somewhere you'll get a notification from. So that always helps out as well. So yeah, there we go. All right. And yeah, Kyle Sabers are on the YouTube side as well. But of course, everybody knows the deal. Jump over to Rumble, because that's the only way to watch the full episode over there, because we know how YouTube's bots are. They don't know the difference between a fair use and what full-blown copyright stuff is. So we got to do it over on Rumble, because Rumble understands all that kind of stuff, and they don't bother with silly bots like that. So make sure you guys join us over on the Rumble side, where everyone is welcome. Mr. Grant Gregory says, be there ASAP. All right, we're waiting. The ASAP.
You liar. How far was ASAP since
I was going to say, yeah, what was, so define soon. Okay, define soon. He did say as possible, though. So I guess define possible is really the definition we're looking for in that one. Define possible.
It's going to kill me. He's going to run through hell and high water to make sure we are forced to watch this piece of shit episode.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that whatsoever. There we go. Now I get to highlight everybody. What's up, Cat on Pause? What's going on, Pause? Good to see you, Pause. Glad you made it in for a little while. Probably gonna draw a little literal broken tablet pen in half, but you got the top part. Oh, there you go. At least you got the top part. That'll work at least. There you go. You can draw a little bit anyway. Looks like common nerds warming up the TARDIS giggity. You know it. There's your average patriot nerd. Good to see you, brother. There you go.
Hi.
Glad you made it in, my friend. All right, there we go. Oh, there we go. Something must be wrong with the flux capacitor. That's right, Kyle Saber. Someone should check your TARDIS headlight fluid level. I would love somebody to check my TARDIS headlight fluid. Giggity. But there we go. There we go. This eccentric. All right, there we go. Just making sure we got it. Too many onions in that episode. That's right, this eccentric. Too many onions in that episode. Too many slices of the onion nibs. Yeah, there you go. And there's our lovely new emoji. What? Hey, you used it too. What are you talking about? There you go. There you go, boys and girls. And you will see a full-size version of that if we get any gifted memberships tonight. Or subscriptions. I can do memberships over on the YouTube side too, but we're not going to be there for that long. Vagabundo, there you go, buddy. Glad you made it over to Rumble. Glad you made it, buddy. Yeah, the Statue of Liberty thing was pretty stupid, right? Pretty stupid. Absolutely, it was.
Like, they could at least go over and say, like, they could have at least gone over and said, like, there's a blackout going on, so then the Statue of Liberty can sneak up very quickly to this building. But
right. Yeah, see, you're right. Then that would have made sense. And you could have even argued that it was just because the angels were going haywire inside of their hotel, so it blacked out the rest of the city between here and the Statue of Liberty. Like, it could have been a fucking throwaway line. You know what I mean? Like, something to explain how the fucking Statue of Liberty walks all the way across fucking Manhattan and nobody fucking notices, man.
New York was undergoing brownouts. I'm pretty sure they had brownout blackouts, so come on.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you could have pulled something off with that one. Like, this wasn't the time of candlelight, okay? This was the time of street lamps and lights and shit. So, yeah, but hey, that's what happens when you let Moffat go wild. But hey, still better than when you let Chibnall go wild. Hey, there should be a meme of that at some, like, there should be a meme, like, should be some fucked up memes of something like that.
When Moffat goes wild, you see the Statue of Liberty acting crazy. When Chibnall goes wild, you see fucking Dr. Karen blowing everything up.
Or you see Dr. Karen with her tears in her fucking sonic screwdriver for the vibrate mode. Oh, it could have gone so much worse. All right, boys and girls. So here's your little tease for over on the YouTube side of what you will get the full spectrum of over there on YouTube, whether you're catching this on the replay or you're catching it live. So that's why another reason why we give the little review and recap at the beginning of the episode too. So that way give you a little bit of our thoughts. So technically this video counts as a review, not just us throwing things up there on YouTube just for the sake of having an intro over there to lead you over to Rumble. We would never do something like that. But boys and girls,
in all honesty, we would absolutely stream on every single platform that would have us, but because of automated and very poor design, we can't.
Mm-hmm. Yep, she's absolutely right. She is absolutely right. So fair criticism all around. Oh, wow, boys and girls.
What did you do?
Well, I didn't do shit. What did
someone do?
Kaio Saber has gifted Vagabundo a membership. So you know what that means, boys and girls. It's time for the premiere. The very first time. Sunker has not seen this. I just finished editing this after my Bible study because that's what I do. After I'm done talking about Jesus and shit, I edit to pray for things like this because, boys and girls, you paid for it. You got it. After watching that abysmal garbage that we did on Creature Commandos, you paid for it. You made things better. And now Vagabundo gets to use the emoji as well. And here you go. You paid for it, Kyle Saber. Appreciate you, buddy.
What the fuck? You fucking idiot.
Oh, no. Dude, I found like the best R&B, like fucking like baby making music.
What was that shit?
Oh, shout out to free copyright free music over on Wondershare Filmora. Go get you a copy, boys and girls. Oh, hell yeah. Yep, that was music. Thanks, Kevin.
That was so kind of gay, too.
That was the best. It was either that or some weird. Everything else started out too slow. A lot of that shit was just. I was trying to find something that was kind of giving me like that Careless Whisper vibes, but that was the closest I could get with some R&B fucking AI generated shit. So maybe I don't know. Maybe Grant and all of his crazy stuff can come up with a better 10-second background music for something like that. There was something. Oh, damn. I don't know if I can use that. There was something else I was thinking of, but never mind. Either way, there you go. That's what you got. You get 10 seconds of Sunker with a fun little dance music behind it. So yeah. And I do still have the video of Sunker dancing as well, but we've got to get like $100 donation for that one.
That has to be a big one because I feel embarrassed every time I do because I forget the camera's on sometimes.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. So there you go, boys and girls. There you go. Kyle Saber. All right, let's give you that little tease for the bells of St. John, and then we will be jumping over to.
It's so fucking stupid.
That's my favorite part. Yeah, Kyle Saber's like, "Oh, I'll pay for it next game session."
Oh yeah, we got a game together, me and you, Kyle.
Oh, there you go. Oh, that's great. Yeah, see those lights, all of those lights, those are the ones that would have made sure everybody could see the Statue of Liberty walking through Manhattan.
And the lights in the top left corner, actually, because you're seeing Britain right now. But that is all you get for your tasters, sir.
No.
Huh?
No, the whole world, the Wi-Fi, everywhere there's Wi-Fi.
Playing with fire, sir.
Oh, the Wi-Fi.
Actually,
the Wi-Fi.
That is a very horrific thing to lose your Wi-Fi. It feels like the end of the world. Nothing like it.
It is. That's first world problems, boys and girls. We live in an era where if your internet goes down, the whole fucking house freaks out. The whole house freaks out, dude. And I'm not kidding you. I have had this happen. The internet, my tablet stopped working. Yeah, it's because the internet's down. Oh, yeah. You might have to go outside and play. No, I'm just kidding. No, my kids actually like to go and run around the neighborhood and do all that kind of stuff too. So no, it's okay. They're not always trapped in front of screens. Thank the Lord. They actually do get bored of that shit and want to go do something else. Surprisingly enough, that actually does. They are not the fucking addiction.
You raise your kids good then because they want to not just get turned into potatoes.
Yeah, that's absolute facts. Well, speaking of potatoes, boys and girls, YouTube, it's been fun as always. Oh, fuck. I forgot to talk about this before we go too.
Oh,
we
yes.
crossed 1,500 subscribers on the YouTube channel. We're like 1514 or 1515 or some shit now. That happened last night while we were playing Cyberpunk 2077. That was fucking awesome. And then we crossed 800 over on the Common Nerd Gaming channel as well. So only 200 away from full monetization on that one. So shout out to everybody that helped out with that, because I appreciate all your guys' comments on all the videos. All that shit helps push it all out to the chat. So we have officially crossed. They were fucking with me for like 3 days, dude. It was like $14.98, $14.99, $14.98, $14.99, $14.98, $14.99. And then I just went into the stream last night and I was like, fuck it, man. We'll just see what happens. And I started streaming, and then you guys came in there and they were like, oh, what do you mean? And I started talking about it. One of the guys was like, hey, no, what are you talking about? It says 1.5K on my channel. I was like, what? And we crossed it. We were like 1504. And then I woke up this morning. It's like 1514. So shout out to everybody that helped out with that. Shout out to everybody that left comments, likes, subscribes, all that kind of stuff. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Thank you guys. You guys are so awesome. Like, that was the first thing he opened with when I was just bitching. He's just like, I got all these things. Like, that's really fucking cool.
Yeah. And we got a washer today. I just got to move it into the garage tomorrow. We got to clear some shit out of the way. So we got a new washer today too. So yeah, we'll be able to get should be able to get all this laundry taken care of. And then we should be able to get some like tabletop wargaming stuff fucking going on here real soon. I'm super stoked for that. So, but all right. That's all you get, YouTube. We love you. We'll see you later. We'll talk to you. Bye-bye.